Hi, my name's Andy Carter. So, my wife and I have been married for 5 years now. Prior to that, we've been going out for 10, so we've been all in together for 15 years. Really, really long time, like my entire adult life, we've been together, which is great, obviously. But things change when you've been together for a while. The romantic side of things, for instance, I've noticed the birthday blowjob was downgraded to a hand job a few years ago. And then this year, it was a cup of tea, not even presented to me in bed, just kind of left on the kitchen table. Like a cup of tea there if you want it. So I'm wondering what will next year bring? Perhaps an elbow in the ribs or a clip around the ear. We shall see. So yeah, that romantic spontaneity. Obviously, it changes. From those early days, that honeymoon phase where you do wild things. You might have sex on a Tuesday, do mad stuff. That changes, doesn't it? And when you get older, of course, it does. We've got kids and stuff, got mortgages, jobs, blah blah blah. It doesn't help that my wife always knows when I'm going to try and initiate sex. She knows this because she refuses to kiss me if I have stubble. She says it's like kissing razor blades, which is, in my opinion, a bit over the top. But because of this, if I shave, she thinks the only reason I've shaved is because I want to kiss her and therefore have sex with her that evening. So when I come downstairs in the morning, if I've shaved, I can see her heart like visibly sinking. She's just thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, he's going to try it on with me tonight. It's not always about her. It's for a job interview or an important day, I'll shave. Obviously, on our wedding day, I shaved, and as she was walking down the aisle, I could see her thinking, "Oh, for fuck's sake, he's going to try it on with me tonight, isn't he?" So yeah, things change. Of course they do. Of course they do. But we're good. We're good. I never consider having an affair, for instance. That's not something I'd really do. Um, I'd never get away with it for stars. It'd be a lot of admin, and I would never ever get away with it. Like my wife noticed that the biscuit tin was two custard creams down yesterday. She should be on to me straight away. There's no way I'd cover up like a fucking paper trail leading to a Holiday Inn in Huddersfield. There's just no chance. Even in my wildest fantasies, it's a Holiday Inn in Huddersfield, which is quite depressing. I think even in my fantasies, I know my limitations. I'm realistic. Um, whether that's a good thing or not, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, no to the affair. I wouldn't have an affair. I do sometimes, though. I sometimes consider like what would life have been like had we never met, or if we met a bit later. Um, I've had a few years. Would I have had a spell as a ladies' man? Probably not. But I'm still a little bit annoyed that Tinder came out like just after we'd got together. It reminds me a little bit of my high school. I went to Ralph Thorsby High School in Leeds. The year after I left, it was demolished, and this amazing new state of the art school was rebuilt. So that's a bit like getting into a long term relationship, and then the whole world of like dating and relationships changing, with everything becoming so much more accessible straight after. I'm actually lying a little bit for the sake of that story. That Tinder actually came out 6 years after our relationship. Um, I hope it was worth it for the school analogy. But yeah, so as sometimes, obviously, all people in long-term relationships, you sometimes think about would your path have been different? What would life have been like had you been single? I was really thinking about this morning actually when I went to the recycling bin and she just like dumped boxes of Amazon boxes on top of the bin without folding them up. I was really thinking, about a different life path I could have taken. Um, but yeah, in my head, I think, oh, I might have had lots of different girlfriends, I might have had lots of casual sex, blah blah blah. But if we draw upon the evidence, I think really it's unlikely. So in this short window of time that I was single and going out, I wasn't very successful. I mean, my tactics would be to go to nightclubs in Leeds, like Baha Beach Club, Bondi Beach Club, and I'd just sort of dance like this and dance near women, and then just watch as they would dance away towards my friend, who wore a leather jacket and smoked roll-up cigarettes and was much better looking. So that approach didn't work. Just dancing in. I never talked to them like that. No, no, don't be ridiculous. So I didn't have much success. I didn't have much success with ladies. Sort of going out in that sense. And I think another story which kind of exemplifies why I was never destined to be a great Lothario is if we go back to the story of my first girlfriend. Actually, my only ever girlfriend before my current girlfriend, who turned into my wife. Um, so going back to when I was like 15, 16. So to give an impression of the kind of guy I was at this time, I worked at Jack Fulton's frozen food shop. My job was to do the delivery at the weekend. So a man with an eyebrow piercing would just throw boxes at me while saying things like, "Man up, soft lad." That's how I earned my wages. Um, I also had jet black hair, having dyed it purple, but my school hadn't allowed it, so I'd have to try and dye it back and go jet black, so I looked like an absolute dickhead. So that's the kind of guy I was. Um, got a girlfriend, obviously, and she was nice. She was nice. Things were good. Like things were good. We'd meet up in the evenings after school, and we'd just walk around the streets of North Leeds, holding hands, occasionally just like sitting down and snogging. I couldn't grow stubble then, so there's no issues there. We didn't really have much to talk to each other about, but what do you have to say? What's a 15-year-old boy have to say? She wasn't interested in the daily grind at Jack Fulton's. Work shy. But things were going well, and we got to the point where it's like, yeah, we're going to take things up to the next level. We're gonna have sex. We talked about women tour. We said we like each other. Let's do it. So my mum and dad were out one night, and I had an empty house. I can remember they'd gone to see the Rod Stewart tribute at the Village Hotel, rock and roll stuff. So I had an empty house, which was great, and we planned this for like 2 or 3 weeks beforehand. We got the empty house. So I went to TK Maxx. I bought a new outfit, including some £12 Kangol boxer shorts, and I smothered myself in short roll-on and munched on packets of Airwaves, set up some Joss sticks, which I bought from the pound shop, and put on the album No Angel by Dido, which was big in 2001. Doesn't stand up. I listened to it recently, unfortunately. So don't go back. But the scene was set. So my girlfriend arrived with a bottle of Lambrini. She just came in, and we were like, yes, here we go, have a glass of Lambrini, then kissing on the bed, and it was all set. We were like, here we go. And I was excited, obviously. As a 16-year-old lad, I was like, here we go, finally, I'm about to lose my virginity with someone I like. It's gonna be good. So he did kind of took off, taking off clothes and whatnot, and then just as we're getting to the point where I removed my trousers, there was a knock at the door. I was like, okay, fine. I ignored it for a bit, and I lost momentum a little bit. I mean, momentum. A 16-year-old doesn't have a clue what they're doing, do they? But put me off my clumsy stride even more. And whoever it was persistent. They kept banging on the door. And thinking, what's going on? What's going on? So eventually, I was like, I'm going to have to go downstairs. So I did, and she wasn't happy about it, understandably. So I went downstairs, had to sort of hide my direction at my belt, a skateboarding belt. Sort of poke it up there, and went downstairs and opened the door, and it was my friend of mine who lived in the cul-de-sac. Said, hey Andy, how you doing? And I looked, and he stood there, he was bouncing a ball. He was wearing a 1995 Everton shirt, which had Hamakachi on the back. I remember that. It's not actually that good for them. But I remember what he was wearing, and he said, "Hey Andy, do you want to play out? Do you want to play out?" So upstairs, my adult life was waiting for me. This whole new world was about to have sex. I was about to enter the adult world. And downstairs is still like the last remnants of my childhood. Do you want to play out? So kind of like these two worlds collided. Do you want to play out? What should I do? What should I do? Do you want to play out? And I said, yes. I said, yes. Yes, I'll come and play out and kick a ball around in the cul-de-sac with you like we do almost every night anyway, weather permitting. And I won't have sex with my girlfriend, something that I've been thinking about pretty much every second of the day for the last month or so. I won't do that, no. And she was pretty miffed about it, obviously, and completely understandably. And what made matters worse was we actually split up a few weeks later, having not had sex. She left me for a weed smoking tree surgeon with a hazardous work and lifestyle balance. He was a bit older than us. She left me for him. I was quickly forgotten, and I wouldn't lose my virginity for a further 2 years after that. 2 years, 2 years. So it's it's crazy. But I suppose the way things are when you've been married for a while and things, you're into this next stage of life. 2 years until I next have sex doesn't actually seem all that long. I'd probably take it, I guess. Thank you. Cheers.